Hi, guys. Wow, we are back with another incredible episode. Um, man, this podcast or LinkedIn Live sessions we have every weekend, we're getting them filled to the brim. We're totally booked until January right now.
Mm.
And just like with incredible people, getting to know incredible people like yourself, um, Philip, and just like wanted to just to get to know your story and stuff like that. Again, we are the Social Tiger. This show is going to be on every Thursday around 12:15 Eastern time, give or take a couple hours, because some guests can't do this time. But yeah, just amazing impact we're trying to have. Once again, we have a very special guest. So just introducing myself, my name is Jordan. I've been a social seller on LinkedIn for about 5 years now, and really uh, gotten my business up to the desired results that I want. We do LinkedIn Done for You and LinkedIn um, coaching to really strategize to grow your brand on LinkedIn uh, exponentially. So without further ado, let's get right into the value here. Uh, so, so I know, Philip, you have a lot of endeavors, right? You're like the. Let me put it this way: you're the jack of all trades, master of everything. Right? Right? I mean, you you have your hands in many cookie jars right now.
Mm.
Obviously, you have a personal branding. You do public speaking. You're an
Mhm.
international TEDx speaker. You're two-time best-selling author, right?
One time,
One time.
that's on, but I've written a couple books.
Oh man, amazing, amazing. So let's get right into it. Let's give our audience some value here. So just let us know who you are, what you do, and how you impact people. And um, what are you working on, and how are you going to approach 2025?
Oh man. First, Jordan, thank you so much for having me on your show, on your LinkedIn Live here today. It was such a pleasure to have you on my show a couple weeks ago, and that episode is going to be releasing soon. So,
Thank
if
you.
y'all really enjoyed this LinkedIn Live, y'all are definitely going to enjoy the podcast episode that I had with Jordan on my show. So, you get a chance to learn everything about Jordan, what he's doing. But a little bit about me, I like to call myself a producer because that's what I do. I produce so
Okay.
much. So over the last 14 years, I've been working in live television production, specifically sports. Now I do a lot of stuff with the ACC network, Duke University, helping them with their broadcast. I've had the opportunity to be a ESPN Plus producer for about 6 years. This is the first year I haven't been a
Wow.
producer for ESPN Plus. As you said, I've written a couple books as well. The main thing that I am doing now is helping people with their personal brand, because every last one of us, you, Jordan, everyone listening to this right now, we all have personal brands, but not every single person understands how to leverage it to attract opportunities. And opportunities can be freelancing, they could be podcast interviews, they could be even jobs. So just helping people with that, and also helping them with outsourcing their content, because we get overwhelmed sometimes with the editing process, whether it's writing our script, copywriting, thumbnails, the editing of the audio, just whatever it is. So since I've been in production so long, I'm starting up a media production company, to help people outsource that content so they can get their time back.
There you go. Technical difficulties. Yeah. Wow. Just amazing. So, is that like I usually ask this question? It's like you're you're a producer and
Mhm.
you do many things. What do you like in super duper enjoy everything that you're doing, or what is one thing or maybe a couple things that you really love to do?
Honestly, I would say that I enjoy every last thing that I do.
Wow.
And I believe that I am very fortunate and blessed to be able to say that. Each endeavor that I am taking part of, fulfills a different part of my heart. So I'm
Mm, good
instructor.
way to put it.
I
Yeah.
enjoy teaching and be able to get back to the students and seeing them land jobs. Within public speaking, I love to be able to step onto a stage and have that different persona that I have the phenom side of me, just don't come on stage and perform, but also educate everybody and make them have that in-person experience that we don't necessarily get as much anymore prior to the pandemic. Podcasting, I love it because it's a great way to educate people at their own time. And then, of course, with helping people with their media stuff, knowing that I'm helping other people get their time back. So I truly enjoy every last thing that I'm doing, but it came with a lot of trial and error, figuring out what I did and
Mhm.
what I didn't like
Yeah.
over the last 14 years or so. So
Yeah.
I just continue to stick with what I like.
So just a question: are you kind of like a lone wolf, or like uh or like we have these guys, we have like very successful people that are kind of like lone wolves, and they're
Mhm,
very successful. They or like me, I'm kind of like a uh I don't like to be the center of attention, but I kind of need people in my
mhm,
realm to push me along, to edge me on for that kind of motivation. And thankfully, I've constructed a team of 11, and plus my co-owner that makes me accountable to accomplish more. So, it's an interesting question. So, what kind of is there a balance that needs to be had, or what kind of person are you?
lone wolf, excuse me, in terms of doing everything by myself or just like socially?
Um, yeah, doing everything by yourself and socially as well.
Yes, in a way. A lot of the things that I am doing is by myself. But my fiance helps me with so much
Wow,
in terms of like
emotional support.
yes. Well, that also strategy as well.
Wow,
I'll take a lot of
amazing.
my ideas to her or anything that I create and I'll run it by her first. And if she's like, yeah, this is trash, I'm like, all right, cool, I'll revisit it. And later. Sometimes, she'll tell
Awesome.
me that she really doesn't like something. I'm like, you know what? But I truly love this in my heart. I'm gonna do it anyway. And then sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Oh,
I'm starting to build a team now, so I
awesome.
definitely need that help around me. But for the most part, I had spent every single year focusing on like a single skill and
Wow,
mastering that
great.
skill within the year so that it doesn't take me as much time to work on it in the future.
Yeah,
And then of course
amazing.
AI. So AI
Yeah,
definitely
AI
helps
is
me
good.
so
Yeah,
much with a lot of
yeah.
the things that I do now.
Exactly. Wow. Uh, Amazing for sure. Yeah, and it's all about learning. All about everyone has their different journeys and stuff like
Mhm,
that. And for me specifically, like investing, of course, I've had experiences with bad coaches, as I mentioned on your podcast. Right, I had very bad experience with some coaches, but then for me, it was just like investing in the right people that saw eye to eye with me, and then
mhm,
because um, sometimes when we need the extra help, and we should have an open mind towards like investing not only our resources but our time into exploring different methodologies that can fast forward our business like
mhm.
mentally, right? But then it took me a while to like really get over like bad coaching.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's different directions to analyze it from, but when it comes to personal branding, having your like hypercritical attitude about like um, getting better and improving in one skill, focusing on one skill, and also
Mhm,
investing in yourself, can really, really move mountains uh, in our journeys, basically. And so, along with like talking about personal branding, what are the like the common mistakes that you see, like people doing, like in general, like your clients, like the, the- uh, I really like to think like, well, for instance, I've been a social seller on LinkedIn for 5 years, and I can really tell if a LinkedIn profile is getting leads, is getting clients, is getting all this activity. Same
Hmm.
with you probably, like a personal brand. Can you readily like say, oh, they're making mistakes, and what are the common mistakes people think a personal brand is, and how can they improve?
Yeah, of course. Before I answer that question, for everyone that's also watching this live, if y'all have any questions
Oh
as
yeah,
well and y'all
uh,
want to tune in,
yeah.
definitely drop some stuff in the chat.
Oh
I
yeah,
just want to open up that door that you don't, even though we're all virtual, you all can definitely engage with us while we're here live. So, some things that I notice that people aren't necessarily doing with their personal brands is they're not telling their story enough. And that's because they are a lot of times scared of the vulnerability, and they don't necessarily know at first how much is too much to share or how little is not enough. And the whole thing about personal branding is you have to allow people to get a chance to know you and who you are, your story, because that's how they get a chance to relate to you in the future. And to go with your question with what are some of the misconceptions that people have about personal branding, is simply that they don't have one. And they think that it is tied to business all the time, and it's not. Everything, if you look up the definition of personal branding, uh I'm going to paraphrase it, but it basically says it is the perception that other people have of you. So if I were to sit here and say to, let's just say, one of your family members, oh man, what do you think about Jordan? Or I see Kirsten in the chat, I'm like, oh my goodness,
yeah,
what do you think about Kirsten? Whatever they say about you is your personal brand to them. All right. And so as you continue to grow and mature in life, you're going to have a lot of different versions of yourself that other people have. And in order for you to attract opportunities that you would like, you need to be more intentional with the way that people perceive you and the way that you present yourself as you continue to navigate life.
yeah.
I also see the question: how do you recommend connecting with an audience while still staying authentic to who you are?
Good question.
So that's a really great question. The
Mm,
way that you are going to connect with the audience is being able to just step into, you have to do a little bit of self-awareness first. You have to understand what makes you comfortable and what makes you uncomfortable to speak about. Over time, you'll find that some topics you'll be a little bit more open to sharing with others. It may not be as soon as it happens. Let's just say, for example, um, if I were to, like, I got into a car accident a couple months ago, and for someone that's had a car, I know this may seem minor. For someone that's had a car ever since I was 16, it may feels I'm going to feel some type of way that I don't have any transportation, that I'm walking around, and I always have to essentially ask for a ride to go somewhere. And I may not want to talk about the struggles that I'm going with just getting around until I get another car. But me sharing the entire journey of, like, yeah, I got rear-ended at a stoplight, and now I don't know how I'm going to necessarily get around. I don't know where I'm going to do for work or anything like that. Just sharing that little piece as it's happening. So many people ended up reaching out to me. It was like, oh my gosh, so many, that happened to me as well. I've gotten rear-ended a couple weeks ago, or my cousin got into a arc accident. Hey, I recently just saw this remote opportunity that I think you'd be great for. So just as you continue to grow and just in life in general, you'll have different moments that happen to you. And being able to just share just a little bit of that experience, it doesn't have to be everything. It allows people to know at the end of the day that you are a human, because we joke a lot about being AI, but we always have these moments that we can connect with other people, because we've had the same experience in life one way or another, even though we didn't grow up the same. So that's how I would recommend staying authentic with your audience and connecting with them.
Yeah, exactly. And for the 15 watching right now on YouTube and on LinkedIn right now, please let us know your questions, or please let us know where you're from, and fire up the chat, and so that we can find commonality here, and we can all like support each other also.
Of
So
course.
yeah, what a great question, Kristen. Yeah, just
Kirsten.
oh, Kristen. Yeah,
Kirsten. Yeah.
Kirsten. Yeah, not Kristen. Kristen. Okay, got it. So, yeah, totally agree with Philip here. you have to choose the right kind of stories that would relate to your audience too, right? Relate to their struggles. Like in your case, everyone's everyone got like some kind of like um, maybe a car mishap or accident. So
Mhm.
that's why it was so relatable. And then not only just leave it off at there, just like in the DMs, just like start to build this meaningful relationship, right? Which is so
Mhm.
important also. Yeah. So it says, awesome. Thank you, Philip. Spreading, of course, that's
Always.
awesome.
Also, what's
Uh,
up, Lori?
we have Lori from Washington. Actually, Lori is a fabulous life coach, and like she spreads the word of ikigai, which is like a Japanese philosophy
Mhm.
of your sense of being and finding your purpose. So like
Mm.
she's
Beautiful.
really awesome and a great podcast. Like she's an international TEDx speaker. She's an international best-selling. So be a great um person for your podcast
Hey,
also,
yeah.
Philip.
Lori,
Yeah,
let's
for
definitely
sure.
connect
Yeah,
afterwards.
connect afterwards. So yeah, basically um it's all like you mentioned like trial and error, right?
Mhm.
Like how important is that to you? Like learning on your own and trial and error, trying things doesn't work and trying different things. Like uh, I know specifically people like enjoy that. So
Mhm.
how does that come to play when you're trying to tweak your personal brand?
Man, you know what? I'm going to read something that actually
Please
transpired
do.
earlier today. Hold on. It was a post that I saw on Threads, and I think a lot of people can maybe relate to this. And so the original post said, "I can never be a creator because I'm so inconsistent. Replace creator with whatever you want to be in life." And so I asked her, "What do you think would help you be more consistent?" She said she honestly doesn't know. It's like some days I have a spark and others I don't know what to post or what to talk about. In this case, maybe some people don't know what they necessarily want to do in terms of navigating in life. And she said her posts are based on her actual life experiences, and sometimes life is just that interesting. Other times, I don't know. I don't want the world in my business. So the quick advice that I gave to her, to also answer your question, I said sometimes something that's helped me in the past is really just exploring life and the world just more, just that we have around us.
Amazing.
There's so much that we don't know, and we can become passionate about truly anything that can give us a spark that so many of us are looking for. Also, remember that passions don't have to be tied to your business, and it's okay to have multiple passions. And then I told her that she'll find that spark that she's looking for soon. So,
Amazing.
for myself, that is how I've had that trial and error. And the errors aren't necessarily like losses or they're wasted time or anything, because I've found out what I do and what I don't like, when I'm passionate about, what I'm not passionate about. When I'm passionate about that, I want to tie it to money. When I'm passionate about that, I do not want to tie it to money at all.
Mm,
And every single
wonderful.
journey that I've taken, it has allowed me to learn something along the way that I can take with me to anything else that I do in life. So it's just truly, almost having like a lot of side quests in life, where you have a bingo
Mm,
board and you just try to figure out like, okay, I'll try this. Maybe I'll make some lo-fi beats and see how it turns out. Maybe I want to be a music producer one day. I don't know. I'm only
yeah.
28, so you just never
Wow, man.
know.
I mean, at 28, you've accomplished a lot, bro. So congratulations,
Thank you.
really, really, really. So let's peel back the onion a little bit,
All right.
you know, and
Hey, don't have
let's
me crying up here now.
maybe, yeah. I mean, it'd be awesome for views, right? No, no,
True.
just
Hey,
kidding, just
hey,
kidding,
get that viral moment.
just kidding. Uh, so like your journey has been phenomenal, obviously, and so when really becoming a TEDx speaker or when becoming international bestseller, um, like those are many people's goals, right? And having to accomplish those, of course, it felt great. So Can you like illustrate or like some of the struggles along the way that you've had to like reach your goals, and then how you overcame them,
Mhm.
specifically to reach those awesome goals that you have?
So the biggest struggle that I experienced was definitely imposter syndrome with both of those, and
Mhm.
I think a lot of people can relate to that. And I'll start with the TEDx talk first. When I was growing up, I used to go to speech therapy. So
Me
just
too. We have that in
yeah,
common,
I
yeah,
think
right?
we
We
spoke.
have that in
Yeah, we
common,
spoke
yeah.
about that in my
Yeah, we
show.
spoke about that, yeah.
So I used to go to speech therapy, and even now, when I'm having a normal conversation, I don't speak how I do like we're talking right now. If I'm being completely honest with everyone, being vulnerable and transparent, I may stutter, I may, choke over my words or anything like that. But I turn it on whenever there is a camera, whatever it is. Again, it's a different persona. However, when I am stepping on the stage, I have to remember that I have a unique journey that I'm able to provide value and teach other people information that they may need to hear or know that's going to change their life, because I understand that I had to hear and learn from other people that has changed the trajectory of my life. So understanding that even if I'm stepping in the room and I'm teaching 100 people, if only 1 to 3 people get the information that they need, that's going to completely change their journey. Then I know at the end of the day that I did what I needed to do, and that was the reason why I was placed on that stage. I was placed on that podcast. I was placed in that classroom to teach whatever it is, and that's enough for me to get over that imposter syndrome. On the flip side of becoming an author, I'm a horrible writer. Horrible writer. Like, I'm not going to lie
No,
to
no.
you.
I mean, I've seen your LinkedIn posts, but they're like really good, you know?
It takes me a while. So that is short form content.
Uh-huh.
I believe that I do
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot
short
better with
form,
short
yeah.
form
Yeah,
writing. But
exactly,
when it
yeah.
comes to the book, I'll tell
Yeah,
you this quick
exactly,
story.
yeah.
When I wrote
It's
my first
different.
book, my fiance, girlfriend at the time, and my best friend stayed up until like 3 in the morning to read the rough draft, and they were like, what is this crap? What? Like,
Oh my
they tore it
goodness.
to shreds. I was like, all right, man, just let me know what edits need to be made, and we'll work on it. But understanding that is not the best writer that is the
Yeah.
best selling author. It's the
Mm,
best storyteller and the best marketer that is the best selling author.
mm.
Allow me to excuse me, get over that imposter syndrome of becoming an author.
Awesome, man. And evidently, you have like a tight circle that really cares about you, right? Because
Hmm.
um,
For sure.
I always like um, Uh, well, of course, I surround myself with positivity, with positive people, but
Yeah.
time and again, I need to improve too, and so people are like, hey, do this, you did that wrong, you that, oh, sorry, and then so just like that feedback is very essential for everybody. I
Mhm.
think like if everyone's licking your boots, right? Obviously, well then that that's not good either,
You
right?
get nowhere.
So you get nowhere. So awesome, man. Ye- so out of everything, just like what is an accomplishment that really felt like special to you, that you're like, wow, I can't believe I'm here, or maybe you had like these aha moments, like
Mhm,
many on many occasions. So it's like a feeling, like, okay, I made it, but
mhm,
there's so much more that I can accomplish, right? So
mhm.
what were those moments for you?
The moments for me that I feel as if have been my I made a moments are not necessarily my achievements,
Mm,
but they've been the comments that I've received from people. So for example, after I wrote my first book, I had someone reach out to me and was like, man, your book inspired me so much that I started a nonprofit. I said, that's crazy. I wrote this in 2 days. I didn't think anybody was gonna read it. That
amazing.
to me is like, man, I made it, because it's one thing to create content. It's one thing to write a book. It's one thing to start a podcast and release episodes. Another thing to just step on stage. But when somebody receives your word, your message, your information in such a way that it moves them to take action and become successful with that action, that to me is success. That's achievement. That is I made it moment, because I have achieved such a level of execution personally that it has caused other people to achieve their goals as well.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's very powerful stuff, and it just goes to show you that uh, the words or the pen is mightier than the sword, right?
Right.
Because I mean, it's like people who love to read books are like moved by their content and stuff.
Mhm.
First of all, let us know the title of your book and where people can find it.
Of course, also for everyone listening right now, let us know what book are you currently reading. Would love to
Exactly.
know. Let us know in the chat. So the book, my most recent ebook, which I would highly suggest everyone to go snag, is off my website, phenomspeaks.com, and the title of the book is "Ignore the Fluff." That book it has a test in it.
Wow,
That's all I'm going to
amazing.
say. It has a test in it, and if you pass the test, you know you're on the right track. If you don't pass, then there's some work that needs to be done. But it's free on my website, phenomspeaks.com, and there's a link like halfway through that you should be able to click it to read it. Definitely go through it. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you pass the test or not.
Amazing, amazing. Um, what is that specific book about, and how do you feel when writing it?
The specific book is about focusing on what's in front of you and
Mm.
not letting distractions get in your way. And that's all I'm going to say, because I
Okay.
don't want to say too much
Yeah.
that
Okay.
will
Got it.
that will
Got
give
it.
a hint
Spoil
towards
the
the test.
surprise, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So so
Talk your
so
way to the top. Who is that
I'm
by, Rory?
uh let's see, fitz.com.
I'm about to look that up
Okay.
real quick. Rory, you top your way to the top.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what the book is about. And what was the other question about it?
So how do like you said you wrote it in 2 days, right?
Not that
No, not
one.
that one. Okay.
My first one I wrote in 2 days as Be Phenomenal, Be For Guy, and Taking Your Life to the Next Level.
Awesome.
That ebook, Ignore the Fluff, was written, I want to say, in about 2 weeks. I want to say.
Okay. Wow, that's great, man. So I mean, like, indicate like the process of like your writing process. Like, sometimes you get inspired, and then you write a little bit, and then you think about it, or what kind of process do you have when writing books?
So it's definitely an inspiration. And when I get inspired by XYZ topic, I simply just lock myself in the house, apartment, whatever, and I hash it out, and I just don't stop writing.
Mm.
I am that type of person. And I feel as if that's why it seems like I accomplish things so quickly, because when I have an idea, I I immediately execute on it until it's finished, and I ignore everything else. So that's why I
Mm.
was able to do the first ebook in about 2 days, and the other one in about a week, because I have an idea, I structure, I write it down, and the main thing is I do not worry about it being perfect. I don't worry about the structure being
Mm.
perfect. I don't worry about
Mm.
the content being perfect, any of that, because I know that I'm going to get it to somebody to edit it, and they're going to give it back to me to improve it. But the main thing is you need to get your ideas down in a way that someone can take it and elevate it to the next level.
Yeah.
So that's what allows me to get everything accomplished so quickly. Even with the album, like the motivational album that I've done, is okay. I have the idea what the track is going to be. I'm going to record it, and then I'm going to send it to a producer to spice it up a little bit.
Wonderful. So it's there, phenomspeaks.com. and it's awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so it says talk. Okay, talk your way to the top.
Yeah,
Okay,
I got a chance to look it up. It looks
yeah,
like a very
awesome.
interesting book.
Yeah, awesome.
And
Let's see
also good luck,
here.
Kirsten, with
Kirsten
the
says,
textbook.
"You know what?"
Everything can be a Shieldblader video. I wish. That'd be nice.
Exactly, exactly. So that's awesome. So like how l- like being open to like opportunities like to speak and to like to be an author and to all these things, like people like you said experience imposter syndrome, but how important are those endeavors or endeavors like them to your personal brand?
Oh, imperative,
Mm,
essential. The reason why is because those allow people to see you as a expert matter or subject matter expert, excuse me, in those areas. Everybody says they want to write a book, but they never actually get a book out. Everybody says that they want to do a podcast, but they maybe don't get past separate episodes and they stop.
wonderful.
You
Yeah.
know, people want to step on a stage to speak, but they get scared and they don't conquer that fear. But when you are trusted to be on a stage to speak in front of people, people perceive you as an expert. When you write a book and it's published and it's in a store and people are able to physically have it in their hand, they see you as an expert. Whether that is, again, you're a business owner, you have hobbies, whatever it is, it shows that you have a certain level of competence to be able to execute on that book, that talk, that presentation, whatever it is. So why I believe having those certain assets are essential for anybody that has a personal brand, whether you want to have a job or you want to start a business.
Mm, amazing. So I just want to talk about this a little bit, like specifically how you help your clients, because I mean, of course, content books are motivational. They can inspire, and that's like the best way of getting your message, building a personal brand, helping people, inspiring people, and that's awesome, right?
Mm,
But it only goes like a certain, like if a person needs help, it only goes like a certain um, way. You know, it stops because they may need extra help, right?
mhm,
So so content books can only get you to a certain um, way, because they might not be enough, right?
mhm.
Especially if you don't have the accountability partner and stuff like that. So I just wanted to spend a little bit of time about how you help your clients achieve great things, also because you have achieved great things, right?
Yeah, of course. So it's a couple things. One is we got to work on mindset a little bit. Everything cannot. If I sit here and give you a plan, a step by step plan to get a book accomplished, you may not get it done. Let's just be honest. However, one thing that I've come to realize over time is mindset will get you through the toughest times. Mindset will get you through the easy times, of course. But if you can develop a very strong mindset, it will allow you to conquer anything. The
Yeah,
next thing is I want to break down the easiest way for you to develop discipline. Discipline is a muscle. It truly is. A lot of people don't think about it as a muscle, but it is. And what for anyone listening right now, you let me know in the chat. Like, let's be honest and vulnerable with each
yeah.
other at the moment. How was your discipline? How would you rate your discipline from a scale to 1 to 10, 10 being the greatest? I would probably rate mine, if I'm being 100 percent with you all. I'll probably rate it like a 7. But
Same
with
here.
yeah, I'm not
6.57.
perfect with it. I'm definitely not perfect with it, but you had to figure out what is something that you can start doing right now that is so simple enough that allows you to be consistent with it every day. And if you start to develop that muscle of something that's just a little bit out of your norm to do it every single day, when it comes to these larger tasks, you'll be able to knock them down over time. And that is one of the biggest things with a lot of people, whether again they're writing a book, they're trying to build a personal brand, even going back to the message or the conversation I was reading earlier. The young lady was saying that she is struggling with being consistent. And so there's so many things that
Mm,
can add to
yeah,
that: passions, our discipline, consistency. So those are some of the things that we talk about and break down
amazing.
to be able to build that personal brand. Because your personal brand is just you, right? So there's a
Mhm.
lot of personal growth that has to be done for us to have an effective personal brand. It's more than just making content.
Amazing, amazing. So, I mean, you talked about consistency and discipline, right? So,
Mhm.
um, for a person like struggling with that, I know that you talked, but I wanted to like dig a little deeper. Um, so, what are some practical things? Because I think a lot of it has to do with priorities, right?
Yeah.
And so w- what is your like top tips for people trying to find discipline and trying to find struggling with time management, so to speak?
It's funny you say that. I have a TEDx talk about time management. One of my other TEDx. Yeah, I had
Wow.
two. I
put
have
put put the link down below, man.
I have
Let's watch them. I want them. I want to see that.
yeah, I have one on emotional intelligence and one on time management. So one thing that I say in that TEDx talk is managing your time. If you can't manage your time, you can't manage your life. So we really need to understand how to have life management. I'm about to put it. I think I can only put it in the private chat, so you'll have to put it in the
Sure.
main chat.
Awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, so time management is really just life management. And when it comes to prioritizing, I always tell people what would have if you focus on one thing out of all your ideas that you have right now, everything that you're working on, if you focus on only one of these things, which one would have the most impact in your life? And that is what you need to prioritize your life around. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot do anything else. I'm saying that needs to get the most of your energy. And then that question, then where it goes from there is how do you know how to distribute your energy? You have to do a little bit of trial and error with yourself and figure out when are you most effective, when are you the most efficient. If you are working on something or need to do something that provides or needs a lot of creativity, maybe you have a lot of creativity in the morning. So you need to focus on that one priority for an hour or 2 hours before anybody wakes up, before anybody talks to you. Maybe whatever you're working on provide needs physical energy or whatever it is. Maybe it's like I need to go to the gym. Maybe you don't have all that energy in you until you and we get to like noon, you've had lunch, maybe it's the afternoon, but you need to really figure out where are you going to have the most energy for that one thing that's going to have the most impact on your life at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. And for a lot of things, I mean, for a lot of people that varies,
Hmm.
but but let's say if it's all about self exploration, self awareness, because
Yeah.
what happens is that people may this goes for myself. People may think that like they're kind of like not scatterbrained, but they're kind of like all over the place, and that
Hmm.
they think that they should focus on this priority, but
Hmm.
it's really about this priority you should be focused on. So it's kind of confusing. So how do you like navigate that conundrum? Like just like you're trying to do this, but then you get distracted and you're like, maybe I should focus on that, and you don't have that clarity still, like in that kind of a stage.
Yeah, this is something that I've dealt with before, but in the past. Sometimes I even still deal with this now, if I'm being honest with you. This is where journaling comes into place, making
Wow.
sure that you are consistently writing your goals. It's been like 3 days since I journal, if I'm being 100 with y'all, but it's something that I've consistently have done over the course of years. And when I'm journaling, I'm constantly writing down what my goals are. I'm constantly looking at my goals. You can't necessarily, where is it? This right here is a bingo. I'm struggling, but this right here is a bingo board that I see every day when I walk into my office, um, to remind me what my major goals are for the entire year. and that keeps
Wow.
me on track so I don't get sidetracked with other side quests that I like to do. So just remembering or
Mm,
having a visual representation what it is. Even for example, I'll show y'all my screensaver on my phone is a wallpaper that I made that says top 100 upcoming speakers list. So every single time I look at my phone,
manifestation. Boom.
yes, it is. So every time I come to
Bro,
my
man.
phone, I'm
Awesome.
reminded like focus on being a speaker, focus on being a speaker, whatever that is. This is speaking, a stage is speaking.
Mm,
So always focus on speaking at the end of the day for myself to in order to improve. So that's how I like to make sure that I don't get sidetracked and I stay focused. I have a lot of reminders around my apartment about my goals, and I do not let myself forget them.
am- amazing, amazing. So, um, to end this, um, I want to get into your goals about 2025 and what exciting things you have coming around the corner in 2025, and specifically what you want to accomplish in 2025 with your brand, with your social media, with Facebook, with LinkedIn,
Mhm.
with all your social media channels, and also like give perhaps give some more practical tips on how people can build their brand on social media. Also,
Yeah. So it's funny that you asked that. I have not made my bingo board yet for 2025. I was just thinking yesterday, like, man, I got to go ahead and start making my 2025 bingo board for my goals. But right now, I'm so locked in with finishing 2024 strong. But
Mm,
if I had to say right now, I want to double my speaking engagements, my in person speaking engagements next year. I want to give me 1 second. I want to have about 100 podcast episodes uh release.
good job.
Wait, I should say 100 on this particular show because I already have about 120 episodes I've released total. So you know what? I'll say 200 total. I'll say 200 total podcast episodes between both of my shows that I want to have by the end of next year. I want to have a max of 10 clients that I'm working with on retainer. So
Amazing.
one thing that I'm going to be going all in 2025 is helping people with outsourcing their content editing, whether that's editing their YouTube videos, their copywriting, their thumbnails, brand strategy, all of that. So if you know that you need help with editing any of your content, social media manager, you need some brand strategy, let me know. Contact me on LinkedIn and
Mhm.
we can talk. So that's one of the main things as of right now. So those three are the main. I'll have a lot of
Awesome,
other
man.
side quests like going skiing and whatnot that I'll end up putting on my bingo board. But those are the main three
Yeah.
goals right now.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. So, when it comes to social media like LinkedIn, you're on
Mhm.
Facebook, and I don't know if you're on other social media platforms. What are your top tips for people using these platforms to augment their brand?
Yeah. The best way is to document your journey. So and that's the easiest way as well. As you are experiencing life, publicly talk about it in a way that you are the most comfortable.
Big,
Because as I was explaining earlier, the entire
big
situation with the
thought there.
car,
Amazing.
yeah, it is.
Mm.
It allows people to feel connected with you and grow with you. I was talking to a friend the other day, actually yesterday, and I was telling her everything I've accomplished so far in this month of November because I haven't publicly spoken about a lot of things, but I was telling her about it. And she was like, man, it's so cool to see how much that you've grown over just this 1 year and everything that you said that you wanted to do, you're currently doing it. And when you are able to share that journey with other people, one, it lets them know that you may talk the talk, but you're gonna walk the walk, you're serious
Mm.
about what you're saying. That builds trust, right? And that's an important thing when it comes to your personal brand is people have to trust you. So being able to see your journey allows people to trust you. It allows them to feel relatable. Relate to you, and it also shows them that you are a person that is going to grow. I'm pretty sure all of us have people in our lives or have come across people that 5 years ago they're still in the same situation, 10 years ago, they're still in the same situation. So you're laughing because you know it's true. So when you
Yeah,
show that
it's
you
true.
are growing over the over
Hmm.
time, whether it's six
Yeah.
months, a year, 2 years, people want to gravitate towards that because they subconsciously want to also grow. So just
Mhm.
share your journey as it
Wonderful.
happens. People want to know that real people exist, essentially.
Exactly, exactly. So, bro, absolutely mind blowing session. I mean, like, there's so much to unpack here, and I'm sure
So
like
much.
the almost 20 people viewing really appreciate you coming on and sharing your expertise. And it's just like, like when you go through the norm of life,
Mhm,
just like when you accomplish your goals, you don't think that it's a big deal because you think that everybody is the same way. But then people just like think it's amazing because they probably don't probably have the motivation. They're going through like imposter syndrome and stuff like that.
mhm,
They're they're focused on immediate results. They want to sell, and it's not
mhm,
working for them. That is when you should dial it back. It's like, okay, what the heck am I doing here? This is a
mhm,
long term strategy, right? So yeah, it's so many talking points, so many things to consider, and so many things to unpack. Like having this conversation to you, it's
for
just like
sure.
amazing, amazing impact that you're having. We wish you the best, my friend.
Thank you,
Um,
Jordan.
uh, I want to have another session with you soon to talk to many people. Lori, okay, so
Lori will definitely connect.
uh, Lori wants to connect. So, yeah, for sure. Lori is an absolutely impactful, wonderful, wonderful person. I think that you will really enjoy her as well. So yeah, any closing words, any words of advice, anything that you want to share um, before we head out here?
Yeah, of course. It's a quote that I got for, or I have two. Nah, I have. Which one do I want to share? Which one do I want to share?
Yeah, there's so many.
Um, it's both are quotes from my mentors, and I truly live by them. Um, I'm gonna go with this one. How you do anything is how you do everything. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna let y'all just really just think about that for a
Uh,
second.
let,
How you do
let,
anything
us take a
is
moment.
how you do everything.
Mm.
So if you're always giving 25%, you're going to get 25% your job, your relationships, in the gym. But if you always give 100% in the gym, you always give 100% at your job, you're going to give 100% in every single journey that you have. So, if you're feeling as if that things aren't moving for you, it's probably because a lot of things aren't moving for you in life. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's deep, right? And there's a lot of principle behind that, and
Hmm.
and like it's all starts with the little things, and then big up to the big things, right? For sure. Well, thanks so much for really, really educating us here, Philip. You've accomplished a lot of things, and I always like to continue learning. And so let's see. The
We'll
well,
talk about it later on.
yeah, yeah, that's me too. It's just like it's like this kind of area of my brain that it just kind of unlocked.
Yeah.
So awesome, man. Thanks so much. Would love to have you on again, and thank you for the viewers. Hope you found it very valuable. Please, by all means, contact Philip. He's on Facebook, he's on LinkedIn. I've tagged him in this post below. Please connect. If you do need branding services like copywriting and stuff like that, he's your man to go to. He's been doing this for a long time. And so please connect with him and please grow together.